Hello everyone, and welcome to a speed build with me, VelvettB. And today we are building, this is exciting, we are building in Tomarang, which is the new world that came with the For Rent pack, and it is absolutely gorgeous. I love this pack. I think it's a lot of fun. I love the world. I think that it's going to be an interesting experience because it does offer some crossplay, and it does offer some differences with the building in the sense that it's got quite a different style to it. So I'm finding that challenging, but in a good way, and a good learning experience, trying to work out how to build with this pack and make it still me. So I am quite delighted with how this build came out. You'll see it sort of coming together as in terms of the shape as I figure it out. I didn't have an inspiration for this build, but I did have an idea in my head what I was doing. So the ideas that I had in my head is I knew it was going to be 3 levels. I knew that the living apartments were going to be to the left. I knew that I wanted a big pool area around the back, and that was going to be a shared area. And I also knew that I wanted to have the other interior shared areas off to the right. So these are the things that I knew going into it. I also had an idea in my head that I would do green and white, possibly with a third colour. I wasn't sure on that, but I did want to use green in this build, and I also wanted to do white. I feel like white is quite a beachy, fresh kind of colour, and I did want to capture the feeling of Tomarang in my style. And I did want to make it like a more modern look to it rather than sort of your rundown or well, I mean, yeah, it's definitely, I think, modern or contemporary, but it still has, I think, some Tomarang traditional styles to it. Because I mean, if you're using the For Rent pack and you're going to like use the windows and doors and that sort of thing, they've got that vibe and that feel to it. So I think it's really hard to avoid that if you are using those packs anyway. But yeah, I did still want to have like a modern vibe to the build. Which is quite my style. I do love building in a modern or contemporary style. I feel quite comfortable with that. So I think it was just a way of getting myself to feel comfortable with this pack by building in a modern or contemporary style, which I'm comfortable with, and then bringing in elements of the Tomarang style and working out the ways that I can make that work, those things to work cohesively together, if you know what I mean. So that was sort of my aim in this build, is working out a cohesion between my style and the style of the pack. So that was a good challenge for me. So you can sort of see the green roof there. I've used the Shift C option with the roofing. So if you click on a roof, hit Shift C, that gives you a third ball that you can use to shape the roof, and that gives you the option to flip up the end of the roof or flip it down, whichever you want to do. And it just gives you like that extra movement option. So if you're wondering how I did that, that's how, is by using Shift C and flipping up the end and then dipping down one part of the top ball or part of the roof. So you can start to see the shape of the build here. It's pretty much how this build is going to come together, I believe. It might be something left on the side that I haven't done, but that's basically, oh no, I think I have done it. I can't quite see that side, but there is a part on the side that I do want to add to it, maybe. This back area with the fencing, I was playing around with, the whole gate matching fencing thing is still a problem, but anyhow, I will change that because I wanted to make that a room. When you're doing the shared rooms, when you're building units, if you want to have like a shared outdoor area, it has to be like in a room. So the easiest way for me to create that was by actually creating a platform and putting like the pool and stuff like that on there and all the outdoor area. So I will do that a little bit later, as I'll create the platform out the back so that I can create that as just like a shared room. Because if it's not a room, you can't do anything with it when you're dividing out the units. So I'm creating a cute little entrance area. So because I wanted to use the spandrels, I hadn't used the For Rent spandrels as yet. So I could put the columns in there, spandrels, and then like did a little crisscross with the basic base game fencing, and deleted out the flooring and created like a cute little entranceway. So this is what I was just talking about with the platform at the back. So I'm creating like a big decking area out there, and that's going to be the shared area for all of the 3 units. So there will be 3 units running up, boom boom boom. So that's going to be all for them. It's kind of like, you know, a nice luxury kind of area. I did struggle with that little section there because the gate the gate stuck through the wall, and I was kind of like, I can't put a gate there. I wanted to put a gate there, but I couldn't, so I just deleted the gate. The end. No more gate. It was no matter which gate I put there, or like if I put a smaller gate there, it was like too small and looked funny with the fencing, and it was just like there wasn't a solution that I liked, so I just went with no gate, and that was the solution that worked. So I'm just using the For Rent wallpaper for the horizontal wallpaper. I can't remember the name of the wallpaper, but it's the horizontal one in white. And I'm just thinking through if I'm going to use a third color. So this is what I'm doing at the moment, just flicking through ideas, and this will be an evolution. It'll be a journey. So you'll see some interesting choices, and I'm just trying things out. I'll put it on there, I'll think about it, and then I will rethink it and change it. And this will happen for a little while. So I'm just going with the stone. And then I think I'm gonna go with maybe that for a little while, or do I change it instantly? Oh yeah, that's right, I do change it. So anyway, I am trying out pink as an option. Look, I don't hate it. I don't hate it at all, actually, because the pink and the green work really nicely together. I'm just changing the stone to a more white stone, so rather than a grey stone, so that worked a little bit nicer with the white on the walls. Oh, and that's the side units there. So I wasn't initially going to plan those as the maintenance areas, so I was going to have those as your sort of water heater and fuse box areas. But after I played around with the pack for a little bit and did like a little bit of property ownership, I completely changed my mind on that. It was going to be a nightmare, because basically you need to maintain it as a property owner. And if you are having to go into each unit and maintain your water heater, maintain your fuse box, maintain your equipment, your radiators, your air conditioners, I mean, that's a lot of work. So it makes more sense to have a shared water heater and a shared fuse box, so that you only have to do the one maintenance instead of like 3 separate maintenances, and then you have less to maintain in the unit. So then maybe you only have to maintain the shower, the toilet, and the sink. And like if you put like a kettle or anything like that in there, you'd need to maintain that as well. But it cuts down on the maintenance so much having a shared water heater and a shared fuse box. So trust me on that. If you have not played the pack yet and you do plan to in the future, this is Velvet's advice to you: share the fuse box and the water heater. You will thank me for it. It will make a big difference as to how much maintenance you have to do. So I'm just working on the little pool area there. So you saw me putting the towels down, and so it looks like it's going to be like a pool towel kind of luxury sit there kind of area. And I'm using the little umbrellas that you got as a bonus for pre-ordering. So that's a little umbrella pre-order bonus one. And this grill, I think you need to unlock it. I had entitle unlock or whatever on the cheat, so I could access it. But yeah, pretty sure you can only access that grill normally if you have achieved something or and or bought it from the night market. It's one of the two. You definitely just can't get it in the build buy without something happening anyhow. So I'm just going to do like a little inset garden in here and just make it like a little seating, a cute seating area so you can sit there in the evenings on the little benches I'm going to put down. There they go. And you can have a nice sit around there. It probably would have been quite nice if I could have put like a fire or something there, but yeah, it's base game. And oh, did I tell you it's a limited pack? This is a limited pack build, by the way. It's only base game and For Rent, so I'm not building with anything else in this game or in this particular build. I think at some stage I definitely want to mix in. I want to do a pack build with Jungle Adventure, Island Living, and For Rent and Base Game. So I want to do like a 4-pack build with those 4 packs because of how, in theory anyway, I haven't tested this out yet because I haven't done the build yet, but in theory I feel like those 4 packs, well, I mean base game obviously, that's just going to be there, those 3 packs should work quite harmoniously. This is my theory, because they should be all pretty similar, because when you look at the Tomarang world, it is very Sulani Salvadorada mashup, right? So this is my theory that I'm working on, is that the packs should work really well together as well. I don't know if this is true. I will try it out and find out. So I'm just getting the last of the windows in. There are some really cool options with the windows. I actually really love the filigree windows. I think they're super pretty. I didn't go with so many of them in this build. I went with like the plainer windows and just a few of the filigree windows in the smaller sort of sections, but I think that was enough. Actually, I did something on the end to the left in those rooms that are going to be bathrooms that were initially going to be planned as water heater rooms. I ended up doing like extra windows down the side, which I don't think I did during the build. I did it after the build because I was fixing a few things up because I forgot some of the air conditioning units, and as I mentioned, as I was thinking about it, I think I've forgotten the radiators. So I need to fix those as well before I put it up on the gallery. So I'll put that on my little to-do list to fix up. But yeah, I'd forgotten the air conditioning units, and I was play testing, and I had like a little bit of trouble with the downstairs bathroom, and I don't know why. Like, yeah, my sim was interacting with it strangely, so I will have a bit of a play around from what you see from the build to what the actual build will turn out to be after I've play tested it. I'd get rid of a couple of things from the bathroom and shift it around a little bit just to make it work. Anywho, we'll be moving on to the landscaping. Now, in the landscaping, we didn't get any in the game and with the For Rent pack, and I don't know why. This is just one of those bizarre, like, we're in a beach world and we didn't get swimwear, and we're in a really leafy jungly world and we didn't get any plants. So I don't know. Those just like 2 odd things for me. Like, they kind of make sense, but in saying that, I wonder. This pack I feel is like a cross-play pack, right? So it works. It's supposed to work in concert with like your other packs. I mean, and you could say there's an argument for all packs being cross-play packs really at the end of the day, but I feel like this very much is aimed to be a cross-play pack, because you have things like the thermostat from Seasons, which works with your radiators that you get with the For Rent pack, and also with the air conditions that you get with the For Rent pack. So those you can work together, the thermostat and the radiators, and they can be controlled by the Seasons thermostat. Also, you get an event in the game, which is the pet adoption event, which I discovered, much to my surprise, as I was playing the game, and suddenly my house was teeming with cats and dogs, and I was like, what is going on here? And turns out like there is a random event where, pet adoption event, and that is a cross-play thing with cats and dogs. The cats and dogs pack. So if you have the cats and dogs pack, you will get the pet adoption event at some point during the game. So I did wonder if the idea behind this game is that it sort of has a cross-play thing with maybe Island Living, where, you know, you need the island living pack for your swimwear and your and your landscaping. I don't know. It's just a theory. It kind of would be nice to have our own sort of stuff that wasn't in debug. Yeah, it's kind of weird that it didn't have any plants for the outside. It came with 4 plants on the interior, so the interior kind of plants, or I mean you can use them on the exterior as well, but you know, potted plants is what I'm going for. I am just finishing up the landscaping. I'm going to add the debug vehicles, and then I think we're going to head inside. So this is the shared area that will be on the ground level for the interior. So that's one of the 2 island living dining sets that we got. So we got 2 options for dining. I didn't quite have space there. It wasn't quite wide enough for the Sims to be able to get around to the back seat. So I just ended up separating it out into 2 little dining nooks, I guess. 2 dining seating kind of areas. And I'm using the base game entertainment stuff. So that's the mega bookshelf and basic coffee table kind of thing with the TV, just to create a little entertainment unit. And I'm just going to put in like a base game couch and an island living chair in the corner. I was initially going to go with green. You know what? Well, I noticed, I don't know, I just have to check this because I haven't double checked this. So this could be wrong. But I kind of feel like some of woods, like, will have like, you know how they have like a green or a yellow or a red or whatever upholstery on them. I kind of feel like some of the woods versus the upholstery doesn't always match in the game. But I don't, it's probably not making sense, but I know what I'm trying to say. So like, you know how I've got the green chair there, the green seated chair, and like it's got like a darker wood, and then like it's just like, I don't know if like the wood on the chair with the dark green seat matches like the bed with the dark green cover on it. Like I think the woods are different. I think I explained that a little bit better that second time. So like the woods for the same coloured upholstery don't necessarily match with everything. As I said, I need to double check that, but I think I noticed that with the green. Because I was trying to do something with green at some point with the green, and because I think the green bedding had really dark wood, and then I was trying to do like matching something to go with them. I think it was the seating, and I'm pretty sure it wasn't matching, but I could be wrong. But that's the kind of thing that would weird me out. It's like, well, if you're going to do like a bedroom set, wouldn't you like match the woods and the upholsteries so that they can work together? But I could be wrong, so don't get outraged yet. Just putting it in the light switches, and that's one of my little detail things that I'm into at the moment, as well as fixing windows that have suddenly disappeared. That's another thing I like. Not really. I don't like that at all. So just getting the flooring down, I'm going to carry the dark brown, it's not a dark brown, but like the slightly darker than mid-brown brown, and getting the floor plan in place for each of the apartments. So basically I'm just doing a line down the middle of each of the apartments, and there will be a bedroom on one side, and there will be an open plan living, kitchen, dining on the other side. So in the bottom and the top units, they will be the same rough layout. So it'll be the kitchen, dining, living on the left side, and the bedroom on the right side. All of the bathrooms will be in that little end space there, which you can see me decorating at the moment. In the middle unit, it'll be reversed because of the way that stairways worked. So the living will be on the right and the bedroom will be on the left, and then as I mentioned in the top unit, that'll be the same as the bottom unit, and it'll have the bedroom on the right and living on the left. So you can sort of see I am getting the bedroom sorted. The reason I am choosing the bed is, if I've chosen the bed, it actually gives me the colour of the wood that I'm going to use throughout the unit. So that gives me the color coordination for the color of the unit. So because I've decided on blue, I then put down a blue bed, and then I can see that it's a light wood. So I'm going to carry the light wood throughout the rest of this build on the first unit on the bottom floor. So that's how I sort of think about coordinating the different things to make it work, I guess. Not that it's always a winner, but that's sort of my thought process. Anyhow, so I'm just trying to work out getting this dresser in here, because like the other two dresser options, they're quite large and quite wide, so they didn't fit all that nicely. I was conscious of them clipping with the curtain when I put the curtains on, so I was like, I don't know. I will be careful here. So I used the smaller dresser just for that reason. And I use a little wedge cushion that you get with the game. It's not a roll of towels, it is a wedge cushion. So I'm just deciding on what curtains to use, and I have ended up going with just white actually, because I'm going to go with, rather than the cream, I'm going with the white furnishing in this build. I felt like that worked quite nicely, so that's what I went with. So mixing sort of the cream, the white, and the blue, I guess, or off-white. I don't know, do you think it's cream or off-white? I don't know. Either way, it's the same colour. Yeah. So just using the little round base, I love that little round base game end table. I think it's so cute, and it is modern, and it's definitely my style. So I couldn't fit too much more in this room. I'm just putting like a little easel in there, and I think like the wall hanging there that came with the For Rent pack. So now I've got the fun job of trying to work out how this layout is going to work for the kitchen, and it was a bit of a job to work out. The lighting that because I wanted to use the For Rent lighting, the cute little lantern lighting just hung too low because I was using a short wall in this build. So I'm trying out this lighting rather than the fish lighting, because I think this lighting's prettier, but it's not very bright. But I also didn't want to do the trick of putting the little round lights on underneath the lighting, because sometimes it flickers and can be a bit annoying. So I will try and brighten the room with lamps, and it's my plan. So this is going to be my cute little kitchen, and I'm using the blue and white counters, smoke alarm going in there. Now because this is base game and For Rent only, I won't have the option of a thermostat to work in with the air conditioning units or anything like that. But if you do have seasons, I would recommend putting in a thermostat and syncing them with your radiators that I'm going to put in, and the air conditioners which I have put in. So what I'm doing at the moment is I was just trying whether or not I could fit a dining table in behind counters. It just wasn't quite working, so I decided to put the dining table in the corner here. So that's just like a cute little nook, and I really like those chairs. I think they're lovely chairs, and I love that they match the armchair as well. I think that's super cute. Then I decided to use the two ends of the counters to create like a little counter area, because I wanted to be able to put in a tea kettle. That's honestly why I did the extra counters, because I was like, well, I want to put in a tea kettle, but then they're not going to have space to be able to cook. So how can I fix this problem? Then I'm like, okay, I know, I'm going to do like a little island thing. So this is me putting the tea kettle in. I was like, yeah, tea kettle. And then, I mean, they've got one little counter space for cooking, but I'm like, you know, kind of want to give them like a little bit more than that. So I'm just putting like a little bit more lighting into the kitchen now, so that it can be a little bit more illuminated than what we've got at the moment. So I can see it's already brightened the room a little bit there. And I really like the little island thing that I did. I'm very happy with that. I'm just putting in some extra lighting into the little nooks that we have too. Then I'm just working out what to do with this last little nook. So I'm going to put like the living space, which is pretty small, but that's fine. So it's just going to basically be an end table with a TV on it and a couch. Oh yeah, that's right. I don't know what happened, but for some reason my hotkeys stopped working partway through this build, and it drove me bananas. Like I couldn't go, like I had to like manually push top down view, and there was like I couldn't like recolor or use the I couldn't use any of the hotkeys, and so that was a bit annoying. I mean, I could have probably escaped out and reset it and stuff like that, but I also was in the zone, and I was kind of like, I don't want to leave the build, I want to stay in the build. So I was just like, I'll just deal with it. I know how to manually do it. I can work around this, because I couldn't build any of the bathrooms without top-down view. It's too hard. It just makes a mess of things. So I was like, right, I can work around this. I don't need the hotkeys. I really did want the hotkeys, but I could work around it, so I did. But yeah, it was annoying. I really like how this bathroom worked out. I think I don't know what it is. I'm just really into brown and yellow at the moment. So this is the apartment that's on the second floor, and it is going to be a brown apartment. So that's the color theme for this apartment, and I go with brown and yellow. So you can sort of see that already in the bathroom. And I think the sink actually works really nicely with that tiling as well. So yeah, I really liked this particular bathroom. I think it came out very nicely. I was a happy little Velvet. So I'm just getting in the last decorative touches. Obviously the options are pretty limited, being base game, and I don't think we got any decorative stuff really for the bathroom with For Rent. So I just had the base game to work with, and that's fine. So then we have this is, as I mentioned, the second unit is kind of the opposite to the first units and the third units, in that the unit that we're decorating at the moment, which is the room that we're decorating at the moment, which is the right room, if you twist it around towards the stairwell, whereas in the other two builds this would be the bedroom. Okay, so it did take a little while to fluff around and kind of work out what layout I wanted for this part of the room, because it's quite a square room, whereas in the first unit and the third unit you actually have the little bit sticking out. Yeah, so I needed to play around with how this was going to sort of work and flow, being like a kind of, a big square. I did play around with the idea of putting some half walls in and that sort of thing, but then I went back down to what I did in the ground unit and used that the little ends of the counters, and that kind of created a barrier between the living area and the dining area and the kitchen, and I think that actually worked a treat. So I was really happy with how that came out, and that's me putting the little birdcage ornament there. I was just determined to use it because I hadn't used it as yet, so I was like, I want to use that. And then the all-important decision of the rug, and I went with the yellow, and then I just went through a few options with the round rug, and then just went with white. I felt that worked better than the yellow, so otherwise it was too much yellow. And then putting in the For Rent elephant, the cute little wall hanging there, and some of the tapestries and wall hangings that came with the For Rent pack. Just going in there. I did flick through, there was not really a lot of great vertical options, like thin vertical options. I mean, I don't want to have like a purple jazz player on a lot of apartments, you know. I want something that's a little bit more neutral to work in. So anyway, back on the old gripe of base game art. You know, that old gravy train. It's like, base game art drives me nuts. Oh well, so just using a few little bits and pieces in the kitchen. I wanted wall clutter rather than counter clutter in the kitchen, because I didn't have a lot of kitchen counter space and not a lot of options to go with. So I'm just working through my bed. Ended up deciding to go with the light wood on the bed with, well, sort of the medium kind of light wood with the yellow and white, and I think that kind of works with the theme of the rest of the unit, so I was very happy with that. So in the little sticky out areas, I'm just going to put like a dresser in this one with the mirror and some little bits and pieces of clutter. And then I'm just going to do like, I guess, a little living kind of area, just like, oh no, that's right. I did do like a little seating area here. And then over here I did a computer. Now, I didn't have space for a full desk, so it just ended up going with the little trick of using a small square dining table with a chair and putting a computer on there. I mean, it works fine, so why not? A makeshift desk. Let's go. So, and a little bookcase as well. So just creating like a little study area. I was going to do a lamp there, but unfortunately I kind of thought 3 lamps in that one little space in the room was a bit silly, so went with a plant instead. Classic old plant. And I'm just getting matching a painting to the color of the room with the yellow, and then I'm just going to play around with this little area because I ended up not being happy. Once I get the curtains in, I need to change it around a little bit because I wasn't happy with how it was clipping. So I used the little sunflowers on the table, so just bringing in the yellow to it, and then I used the brown leaf pattern rug, which I think looks absolutely gorgeous. I really like that rug. I think it's super cute. Then I'm using some yellow curtains, and then you can sort of see the clipping issue with the couch there. It wasn't really fixable, so I was like, okay, so that means I'm going to put in like a little armchair and another side table, so using the round little side table again from Basegame, and then just put like a little stereo on it, so it actually had like a practical use as well. So you can have like a cute little stereo, and then just a Basegame painting on the wall and another extra curtain. So then that leads us over to our second floor shared area. So off to the side, it's going to be like the square sort of water heater fuse box area. But in this area, I did some couches with an end table in between. And then I'm going to create like a little tea and coffee station because I thought that would be super cute for socializing. So I'm using the For Rent counters. So just using 2 end ones and 1 big middle one. And then using a kettle, the 2 different types of kettles, and then the Schmappel coffee maker in the middle, blue rug, and the TV above that, and hey presto, we have a little socialized area on the second floor. Isn't that cute? And then I'm going to put in our water heater and fuse box. Oh look, there's an air conditioning unit. This is the only one I remember to put in. I somehow forgot on the other 2 units, but I remembered on that one, and just doing a little bit of the outdoor furniture on that unit as well, because I hadn't done that. So this is the same layout as the bottom unit, but I'm putting the kitchen somewhere different. So I thought I would put the kitchen in the little sticking out sort of extrusion area, and I'm using the white and blue counters. And then the living area is actually going to go over by the front door. So that is kind of the reverse of what I did in the first unit. So I think it's quite different from that perspective. And I actually managed to do something a little bit more with the kitchen counters in this build as well. So, but I'll mention that when I get to that. So I'm just putting like a hanging wall cabinet up above the fridge. It had like little bits and pieces in it, so I thought, well, you know, that kind of works with the little towels and stuff hanging down. So I really like how these curtains kind of pulled the room together. Like, they were very Tomarang. I actually ended up shrinking them down by 1, so these aren't the full-size curtains, so I've shrunk them down by 1. So they sit nicely on those windows, and they look so pretty in the apartment with the blue. So you can see the living area is just going in now, so that's going in by the door. So you're going to have that door there to the right is going to be the front entrance door, and you'll come straight into the apartment, into the living area, and then you have the dining in front of that, and then the kitchen off in the corner. And I was able to fit a full kitchen island using the ends anyway, so sort of full, into the middle of the room. So I was really happy with that. So it's going to be extra counter space. So, and I did test it out. You can use the sink. I mean, you can use the fridge and cook. So it should be all good. I don't know if I actually used the oven, but I definitely used the fridge and the counters to cook, so, and that was fine. So I was initially going to put like the shoe rack there by the door, but it wasn't going to fit with the amount of room that I had space to get into the apartment, so I ended up changing that and putting that in the bedroom. So I'm just putting in a wee bookshelf and plant, and I'm trying to put some more plants in there, but there wasn't anything I could really put on top of the bookshelf, so I put like a couple of the plants on the bookshelf and then found a painting to put above it. Problem solved. And I decided to put like a couple of the immaculate shelving in there just to fill that space because it kind of felt like a bit of a gap. So I used some of the base game paintings, the little elephant teapot that you get with For Rent, and that actually goes on small shelving slots, by the way. Thank you very much. And then we had something decorative for there. So then going into the bedroom, I'm just going to use the hanging decorative stuff. I wish that was functional, but as far as I know it's not. But there's your shoe racks going in there. That could have been something they could have made functional as well with For Rent, but yeah, whatever. So I'm going to change that to a light furniture. There we go. So it's going to go light, so that matches the bed. Then I'm going to get the end tables in there. So I'm going with the slightly more decorative ones with the filigree rather than the plainer ones, and then just using the little kind of pyramidish lamps with a bookshelf on the wall to fill that space. Then I was working on which tapestries I wanted to do, because I use these tapestries I think in each of the apartments because they're really good space filler because they're nice and long and narrow. And then I needed something for that wall, so I just used the For Rent thing. And then just getting in a sofa, and I'm going to put like a little TV on that end table, and then put a desk, computer, and another bookshelf in there. So just creating like a little mini study so that, you know, just makes the room nice and functional. And they've got some little extra bits and pieces to do that they can do in their little unit, and adds value to the unit as well, which is nice. So I'm just doing white on the curtains, and then kind of a browny grey on the floor, on the mat, because that works quite nicely with the blue. And then I think we're just about finished. We're just going to put this bathroom together. As I mentioned, this will change a little bit in the final version because of the air conditioning units that I forgot. So let's take a look at what we did. I can hear an ice cream truck outside. Anyway, here's the build. And then we're down on the downstairs unit. So that's all sort of the blues and the whites, and I think that's super pretty. And then to the second unit, it's all the browns and the yellows, and I love that. I think it's probably my favorite out of the three, but I like all of them because they're all sort of my colors, and that made me happy. And I love that bathroom. I think it was super cute, and I love the colors in that bedroom. And I do like that bed. I think it's a nice bed. And then moving through to the third unit, I love how those curtains work with the room. I think they're super pretty. They just add like a softness to the room, which I really like. And I do like that cute little kitchen. And this bathroom was nice. You can see the air conditioning unit there, and then into this bedroom, which is a busy little bedroom. I think there's lots of things to do in that bedroom. Well, that is about our build. So I'm going to wrap it up there, and thank you so much for watching. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, or even the notification bell if you haven't done that either. And you guys have yourself a good day. Catch you in the next one. Bye bye.